Lake Country Power, as you all know, is a cooperative, and we operate on cooperative principles. There's 7 principles that the co-ops operate on. Number 1 is voluntary and open membership. 2 is democratic member control. Member economic participation, autonomy and independence, education, training, and information, and cooperation among cooperatives, and also concern for the community. And I've added another one, number 8, and I call it equality. We treat everybody equal, whether you're a low-time user or a high-time user. You all have the same privileges, and we treat everybody the same. My personal roots go way back to when I was born. I tell everybody I didn't live in a house until I was 5 years old. I lived upstairs in co-op stores. In fact, I lived upstairs in 2 of them. So, and my dad was a co-op store manager until he went to work for Carleton County in 1947. He went to work for Carleton County Co-op Power, which is one of our merged co-ops now, part of Lake Country Power. He worked there until 1967 as a office manager. And he became the general manager in 1967, and he retired in 1977 as general manager. So you can see I've got a lot of co-op philosophy in my background, and I'm a very strong supporter of co-ops. The past year, last year, a year ago now, I was elected president of Lake Country Power. And before I was elected, I saw a lot of things that I thought should be changed. And I took it upon myself to get the board to support me on my recommended changes, and we made some changes. We made good changes, I think. We made some good changes that needed to be done. One of the big problems that we had that I saw was transparency and workplace environment. Those are the 2 most important things I think that we had to address. Also, we had to have more interaction between the employees, staff, management, and the board, and also with the members. There was a lack of interaction and communications. The board was left in the dark in a lot of cases. And so I went ahead and I along with the support of the board, I established a committee structure amongst the board. I started out with an administrative committee, operations committee, human resources, and labor management. We did not have good communications amongst the employees and management and the board. Labor management was the relationship with labor management, with the labor people. The union was lacking. So I assigned myself as a chair of the Labor Management Committee, and we started with 2 other board members besides myself, and we started attending their meetings, their monthly meetings. And we improved our relationship tremendously. We now have a good relationship with our bargaining unit employees, which has to be. They represent over 100 of our employees, and you cannot treat them as adversaries. We cannot treat our employees as adversaries, which I thought was just about on the verge of being that type of a situation. Since then, we have established a good relationship with the bargaining unit, and we found out a lot of information from the employees in the bargaining unit, and we made some corrections, and our relationship has improved tremendously. The legislative committee, we established a legislative committee. Back in 2000, there was an addendum to the state statute that requires 5% of the membership to open up a full election amongst the members. Well, somebody run this through the state legislature, where they had Lake Country Power only needed 1%. And this is what happened with our PUC vote here. If you remember a year ago, it only took 435 members to sign a petition to bring the whole Lake Country Power organization to its knees, and it cost us $400,000 to do that exercise. So I went ahead and I contacted Representative Rukavina and also Tom Enzel from Balsam, and they ran the bill through, and I got it through in 2011. Senator Bach, he got it over the hump, and had Governor Dayton sign it a year ago this May, I guess it was. So we're now like the rest of the co-ops. It requires 5% of the membership to bring anything for the full vote for the full membership. So our committee structure has worked good. We've got good communications, we've got good interaction, everybody knows what's going on, and that's the way it's got to be. The members have got to know what's going on. The board has got to know what's going on. The staff, management, and the employees. They've all got to interact and know what's on the table. The board also, through this process, has become very proactive. Like I've told the board, I says, you very seldom score on defense. You know, we've been on defense for most of the time that I can remember. And now we're going on offense. We're doing some scoring. We're getting some points. And we're going to continue that mode of operation. It's working well, and we're motivated, the employees are motivated, and we're going forward. Now the other big issue, of course, this year was the rate committee. With this rate structure, we found out things that had not been exposed to the board. We discovered a $1.5 million shortage to balance the budget for 2012. So our source of revenue is the sale of electricity. So we didn't quite know how to go about this. Were we just going to raise the rates, the cost of energy, or we're going to raise the facility charge? So we established a rate committee. Sherman Leamington, he chaired the rate committee, along with 2 board members, and plus he had access to the full staff and management. And he spent 6.5 months studying, and we also had a cost study group from outside to assist. They came up with 29 different scenarios how we could recover the 1.5 million, plus do some of our long-range rebuilding. We found out also we've got 2,200 miles of line that's got to be rebuilt. It's been standing there since in the late 30s and the 40s. 20 years from we got to replace that in the next 20 years. So how are we going to do that? We all took that all into consideration in our rate structure study. So we did present 3 options, the 3 options that the board selected to the membership, and let them vote on it. And it's going to be counted today, and we're going to use that. We called it an advisory vote. We did not call it a binding vote because the board still has to make the final decision. So the board's vote, whatever the board votes in, that's going to be the law. That's our responsibility, and we did not want to delegate that out to the membership. So we've got that to contend with now, and our new rate structure is going to go into effect September 1. Since February 7th, we've had 27 member meetings throughout the Lake Country Power serving area. And we had 18 advisory meetings explaining the restructuring process. We've had 9 district meetings. So we've done all we could do to get the message and the information out to our members so that they would know what we're doing and what our options were and what we're confronted with. In May, Greg and I, we attended 24 meetings with the news media, with the TV cameras, radio stations, and the newspapers. So with all that, board expenses have increased. They did increase. So, but what does the membership want? Do they want the board members to sit home and wait for the board packet to come in on Thursday and then attend the meeting on Tuesday? then go back on Tuesday afternoon and wait for the one coming in next month? If you do, I don't think you should vote for me, because as long as I'm on the board and I'm responsible representing you people, I'm going to remain proactive, and I'm going to encourage the board to remain proactive, and we're going to go ahead and score on the positive. The board budget right now is less than 1/4 of 1% of the total budget. In 2000, it was higher. It was just about half of 1%. In fact, it was 0.47. And in 2007, it was $8,000 higher than it was in 2011. So I don't think that the criticism by a newspaper on the range that's criticizing the board expenses, I don't think it's really justified. I think our board budget has been kept pretty much right around $200,000 a year. That's 9 board members. That includes our travel, our training, all of our expenses. And I don't think it's unreasonable. So that's my feeling on the board. I'm not going to apologize for any board expenses. In fact, I put mine out there since I was elected. If you want to look at them, they're itemized, and I'll be around here this afternoon if you want to criticize me for something on my vouchers. So I'll be glad to hear your criticism.